Good morning, everybody, and it's great to be with you as we continue our time of prayer together as a church. And this morning we're looking at the Holy Spirit and being filled with the Holy Spirit. Yesterday we just got back from a holiday. We spent a bit of time on the Suffolk coast, which is lovely. This is a holiday we've been doing for many years. We usually go with my family, and we did this time. It was about 15 of us in total, and it's lovely, and it's a place we know very well. But we spent quite a bit of time on the beach, even though the weather wasn't that great, and by the sea. And there's something about the sea that just reminds me of the Holy Spirit. So there's just three things I wanted to share with you. And the first one is just the power of the sea. It's just this water that has the power just to change things. I mean, Chris and Jake both went in it once and they got knocked over. I mean, the power of the sea to knock over grown men. Yeah, it also can carry big cruise ships. They don't sink. It can carry big oil tankers or other vessels full of heavy cargo. It holds things. So it's just a powerful thing that it is. And the second one is the vastness of it. When I stood on the shoreline, I just looked out and all I could see was the sea. Just in front of me, to the left, to the right, it's just sea in front of me, and that was it. It just covers this vast expanse of our earth, doesn't it, the sea? And I suppose the third one is just the relentless of it, watching the waves come in and out constantly. They don't ever stop. They're just coming in and out. They don't ever give up. They don't stop. They're just constantly bringing stuff in and taking stuff out of it again. And it's just a constant momentum, a constant movement that happens. And I just think these things are like the Holy Spirit in us. The Holy Spirit is a powerful thing, and God promises it's a gift from God. It's part of Him. He never intended us to live our Christian lives without it. He knew that we would need it. And that power gives us the authority that Jesus had when He walked on the earth. All the things that Jesus did, we can do with the Holy Spirit that lives in us. There is a huge amount of power in the Holy Spirit that I don't think we recognise often in our lives. Also, just the vastness. The Holy Spirit is big, isn't it? God is big. And yet He dwells in us. This huge, big God who created the heavens and the earth chooses to dwell in us. And sometimes I'm in awe and amazed that me, an unclean vessel, yet God, this holy, sovereign, just, right God, chooses to dwell in me. And it should leave us in awe. It should. And the third one's just the relentless of it. The Holy Spirit never gives up. It never gave up on me, and it won't give up on you. It's constantly there, reminding us, guiding us, equipping us, directing us, just helping us to recognise right from wrong, just keeping us on the right road, just transforming us into the likeness of Christ, into the image of God, which is what God always intended our lives to be like. We should reflect God in the way we live our lives, and we can only do that when we're filled with the Holy Spirit. And I suppose the other thing I just wanted to share with you, when we were on a walk a few days ago, we just walked on the shoreline, and it was about an hour's walk, and we came to this big tree that had just fallen. The cliff, it was on this cliff, which was massive, onto our right side, and the tree had just fallen off the cliff, and that had just happened because the sea had eroded it. The sea tide going in, constantly in and out, had eroded that cliff, and this tree had fallen. And I was saying, we've been going on this holiday for about 30 years, and the cliffs weren't that eroded before. This is a tree that had fallen in the last year, because last year we did that walk, it wasn't on the beach. And I just felt this, with the power of the Holy Spirit in us, means that things do fall, that actually strongholds can fall. When we are filled with the Holy Spirit, we can see strongholds come down, we can see mountains move, we can see trees fall. But we just have to be relentless in our prayers. We mustn't give up. This tree didn't fall overnight. It took, I don't know, somewhere in the last year it fell, but there was a process before that happening that made the cliff unsteady for it to fall as well. So it's got to remind us not to give up. So I suppose there's just a couple of points for today, is just to recognise your need for the Holy Spirit. Recognise that you need to be filled, to live as God intended you to live. And some of you maybe just need to float in that Holy Spirit, knowing that it is strong enough to hold you, to refresh you and to refill you. And for others of you, just encouragement to keep praying. Don't give up, because the Holy Spirit is relentless. It will never give up on you. It's fighting for you. It's fighting through you to change the world around you as well. It's fighting for those that you love. And it may take time, but just keep on praying, because the Holy Spirit is just for you and with you, and will equip you and work through you as you remain filled